I want to jump into Botox in a second, but you're absolutely correct. There's too many false tigers right now,
Yes.
constantly attacking us. Sympathetic system completely burned out. And that's going to age us and that's going to make us look it too. We're all looking a little bit worn, I think, these days. We're all tired of it because it's constant. I mean, the fear factor
Huge.
of everything out there is really a lot. And, if you look even beyond the stressors out there, so many people are walking around with emotional baggage and that's showing on their face. And you posted a beautiful image the other day on Instagram of the emotions in the face where it shows literally disenchantment, other things. Can you talk a bit about that and how we have this connection between our face and our emotions? And it's not just, sad, you're showing it quickly with a frowny face. We're talking about years of holding on to emotions showing up on the face.
Yep. So our face, and I hope this comes as no surprise at this point, is a storehouse of our emotions. It contains all the stories of our happies, our joys, our sads. And when we get wrinkles, our face is telling a story. Any wrinkle. What is a wrinkle? A wrinkle is a contraction in the muscle. What causes a contraction? Well, in part, stress. And think about the response that your body does. Think about somebody going through trauma. What do you imagine their body doing? Shelling up. What am I doing? I'm in contraction. Our muscles are doing the very same thing. The facial map that you just spoke of actually was created by my late teacher, who I had such the pleasure and privilege of studying with, Lillian Bridges. She studied with her grandmother. She's Chinese. She's like a Chinese shaman. She studied facial reading with her grandmother, and then she went on to bring through all these teachings around the face, our trauma and our emotions, with the lens of psychology behind it. And what's interesting is Lillian said the original face is best described as an individual's essence. Our essence is something in Chinese medicine known as our Jing. Our Jing is our ancestral, what we call qi. It is what you are born with, and it is like your absolute life force. And it's what dictates like your aging and your overall constitution to be able to withstand the difficulties of life. Yes, you come into this life with this qi already. You cannot restore it once it has been depleted. And what depletes your Jing? Chronic stress. Where does the Jing show up? In your face. The Jing is related to our kidneys. The kidneys are the water element, and one of the most crucial facets of, defying our aging and keeping our muscles and our tissues healthy is water. Mm. It's the fluidity in our facial structure. We dry out like prunes when our water reserves are depleted.
And don't the kidneys usually show up right around the eyes and under the eyes, right? Where a lot of people usually have some issues and go towards the Botox type of alternative?
Yes, exactly. The stagnation and, this can show the kidney insufficiency, adrenal insufficiency, but bags under your eyes. What are the bags under your eyes? A lot of times it's congested lymph. Where does the lymph for your face drain? It drains into the axillary node right above your clavicle. And if you think about it, the arterial blood supply for the face comes from the neck as well. We're all walking around with our 21st century postures. What does that mean for us in a larger scale? Our face isn't getting any of the arterial blood supply moving up, and it is not getting any of that drainage moving down. Not to mention the lymphatic system. It doesn't move on its own. It's got to be manually stimulated. So through things like gua sha, facial stimulation, spiked jade rollers, or I'd rather say grooved, not spikiness, you are actually creating that gentle fluid motion, but you're also working through the tight, taut muscles in the face and creating a pathway so that when the fluid is ready to actually drain, it has a pathway to move. And just so you know, when we talk about the face, we've got 43 muscles in this thing, guys. We get knots in our necks, our backs, and our shoulders. We get them in our face too. So we have got to restore this flow.
Yeah, and it goes
things
both ways,
open.
right? When you restore that flow, when you work on the face itself, it's working on the emotions. It goes both ways.
Hugely.
And then you work on the
Hugely.
emotions, it shows on the face, right? And it goes back and forth. And we
It's a
learned that,
feed.
yeah, we've applied different lymphatic drainage types and something called Phyto-5 therapy from Switzerland that applies different essential oils and stimulates. And it's
Amazing.
not just about you looking better. It's about addressing emotion, stress, all of that. So you got to look at it in a holistic viewpoint.